or both of them. So.
Who has really stood out to you so far that's picking it up real quick?
Right. I would say pretty much the whole BIA, the back end, honestly. I ain't gonna lie. Rocket, he's picking it up as well. He's playing kind of the middle position right now. And Court, I think his hamstring is injured a little bit, but it's not bad. But he was picking up as well. And now we got Proc back in the mix, so that's exciting. I know you guys are excited about that. So and, yeah, he's picking it up as well. So and then you got some veteran guys like Cam Brown. He's a vet at corner, so it hasn't been too bad of an adjustment for them, man. So I think honestly in the whole back end picking it up, and then Tommy, I'll say for linebackers, Tommy and T-Raw Taraje, they look good to me. And then honestly the whole D-line look good to me, and that's good for a DB. I think everybody on D-line look good, but they job easy. They just go get the quarterback, so that's easy. And, yeah.
You said they've been starting to get after CJ a little bit.
Yeah. The D-line, every time, I'm in coverage and I look back and they're like, sack, defense sack. I'm like, dang, D-line must be good, you know what I mean? So that's exciting for me and for all of us in the back end. We love to see a good D-line. Makes our job way easier.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
From a football standpoint, you guys, Oklahoma State, were playing for a chance to be right in the mix this year. Just Ohio State's predicted to be up there. I don't know. Was that a thought at all in your mind? Is it, I want to be in a playoff. I want to, be in a big time game. I don't know. What's your thought? I guess.
Right. Yeah. Most definitely. You coming to a university like Ohio State. You got your Alabamas, you got your other schools, but coming to a university like this, every year they're going to put Ohio State preseason top 4. They're going to be top 2, if not 1. You know what I mean? So when I was making my decision, obviously that was a big factor. I was like, man, this is probably going to be a championship team. I wanted to be a championship team. So coming from, honestly, we were probably going to be a championship team, at least in our conference. We fell short at Oklahoma State, but we're about to be a championship team there. So I got a little taste of that. And once I decided I was going to transfer, I kind of wanted that feeling again. So that played a big part in my decision to come here.
I know you have the same defensive coordinator that you did at Oklahoma State, but is there anything you've noticed that's maybe different about the way Ohio State runs their spring practice as opposed to what you guys did at Oklahoma State?
Right. I think it's similar. It's definitely when you get in the spring, you kind of just want to see what guys can do, and that's what Coach Knowles is in the process. He was in the process of doing that, seeing what guys are good at. So obviously, it's a lot of evaluating going on with the new staff, which is what's different at Oklahoma State. Going into the spring there is just kind of like, we just practicing like normal, but here's a lot of evaluating going on. So I would say that's the only difference. We still, go 11 on 11, we still do 7 on 7, 1-on-1s, all that. So, football is football, so I think it's pretty similar.
As maybe the elder statesman of this scheme, has he kind of asked you to maybe take that mentorship role for a lot of guys that might be veterans themselves, but might be acclimating to the scheme?
Yeah, it's kind of like an obvious thing, coming in. The guys know I played with Coach Knowles, so when they have questions that they don't want to ask Coach, they definitely come to me, and I answer the question. I'm here to help, obviously. So I've kind of just fell into that role, not really kind of being like handed the role. I just kind of fell into. They know I was with Coach Knowles, so when they got a question, they ask Tanner. So that's kind of the position I've been put in. But I'm enjoying it, and like I said, guys are picking up the defense really fast, and that's exciting to see.
What's the benefit of running a 3-safety scheme as opposed to your traditional 2-safety setup?
Right. I think probably the biggest thing is just speed. Obviously safeties and corners are faster than linebackers and D linemen. So when you got that 3-safety position, you got guys that play safety but can be like a linebacker, like your Rockets, your Ronnie Hickmans, your Court Williams, even Josh Proctor. You got guys that can play like linebackers even though they move like safety. So I probably say that's the biggest benefit of just having more speed on the field and just being able to fly around and get to the ball faster.
You mentioned a second ago about guys playing like linebackers, having the versatility.
Right.
Ronnie gets to play a little bit of bullet pass.
Yeah.
What's your impressions of that position in particular?
Yeah. So Rocket, he's an interesting guy. That's somebody that I've obviously got to spend a lot of time with so far. So Rocket's my guy, but he's very versatile. If we could, I think Rocket could put his hand in the dirt and maybe play DN a little bit. So, but nah, he's a really good player. He has really good run instincts. He's a good run fitter, and he also can cover. He's a good coverage guy. So having him, kind of in the middle, he's a smart guy. He can run the show. So I've been enjoying playing alongside him, and I'm looking forward to this year.
I got to ask Ryan Day Monday about just how you and Ronnie get to play together. You guys are those two veterans, two different programs now come together. How from your vantage point, how are you guys going to mesh together and how do you work together so far?
Right. It's been fun so far. Ronnie's an interesting guy. That's my dog. So it's been kind of smooth playing with him. We kind of have fun on the field. we kind of got similar personalities. So we're both like funny guy joking. So even when we're on the field, we're kind of loose just playing. We're communicating, pointing out things we see. CJ's pointing at us, we point back at CJ. So it's just been kind of fun, getting after those guys and competing. So it's gonna be a fun year playing alongside Ronnie and Brock and Cord, Cam Martinez. We got some guys that can play ball, so it's gonna be fun.
Have you seen him? How do you think they've picked it up so fast?
Yeah, I think honestly, I think the coaches are doing a really good job. Coach Knowles he's brought in guys that used to coach under him as well, guys from Duke and even guys from Oklahoma State. So I think having other coaches that have been in his defense as well, and then having me as a player been in defense as well, like everybody's really in every room getting a taste of somebody that's done it before, somebody that's been in it before. So I think that's helped a lot, honestly, in the coaching, like in our individual meetings, guys are really, getting to see firsthand, like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is how the defense looks. So having, those different coaches in each room, and then me as a player, being out there with them, I think it's been a pretty easy transition.
You were talking about Ronnie earlier too. He's been playing the adjuster, the free safety. Last year he did more like a boundary safety, so it's a little bit of a different spot for him on the field. How do you think he's done and looked?
I think he's looked really good. To me, Rock is a pretty versatile safety. To me, he's obviously a bigger safety, but he can run. He can cover. So I think that's probably why Coach Knowles wanted to put him there in that middle position, so he can do a few different things. I mean, he can blitz as well. So in that middle position, they do a lot of different things. I mean, they're not just playing deep all the time. You know what I mean? So he gets to blitz. He gets to cover down the box. He gets to play linebacker almost. So it's similar to what he did at Bullet. It's just more in the middle instead of in the boundary. And then that boundary position, we got Core and we got Proc playing that too. And that they get to roll to the middle probably maybe more than the adjuster, which is the middle safety. So you might see the boundary safety in the middle more than the middle safety. So it's just a lot of different things Coach Knowles likes to do with the defense. So a lot of people think the boundary safety is like the box guy, but both of them really do similar things. So and Rocket, Cord, Proc, they can all play both of those positions.
Jim said he kind of knows he needs to hit the ground running here. So I was curious, is there anything different about how things are being installed? Has it maybe been accelerated? Or?
Yeah, it's definitely been accelerated. The first 2 or 3 weeks of spring, I mean, he was putting in a lot of plays. And I kind of told him a few times, hey, Coach, you putting in a lot. He's like, man, I want to get it in. Just, I know they're going to mess up. I just want to get it in so, the guys, get a feel for it. But the guys have handled it really well. I mean, all the coaches will tell you the same thing. I mean, everybody's handled how much he's throwing at them really well. And everybody's adjusting pretty fast. So it's definitely different. Like you said, from my previous school, it's been different. He's put in, almost the whole playbook, just in the spring, which is good. So now everybody can see, this is what the defense is going to look like. So, it's exciting that everybody's really picking it up and you're not just seeing, guys lost out there. I mean, guys look like they know what they're doing, which is really good. So I'm excited.
Tanner, has he put in anything that's new to you, or is it still all?
Nah, it's pretty much the same for me. We're probably going to have to use more, he calls it the sub package or tank package, whatever, where you bring in an extra linebacker, I'll come out the nickel, and you'll play with 2 safeties. That's more for 12 personnel, big tight ends, 13 personnel. So I don't know who played Wisconsin. Yeah, stuff like that.
You're getting used to it already.
Right, yeah. So teams like that will obviously have to use that more than we did in the Big 12. So that's probably the only difference. But I mean, we ran sub package over there as well. So
do you feel like less of the new guy because there's a comfort level with what you're running?
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, but coming in, I mean, originally I definitely, I was the new guy. You know what I mean? Everybody knew I came, from Oklahoma State with Coach Knowles, but he's still a new guy. But everybody embraced me, really well. I got some guys I can call brothers now. We, like I said, Rocky. We spend a lot of time together. Even the Cores, the Procs, all of them in the back end, we spend a lot of time together. So we built that relationship. But and then having those guys, come to me for help, that's helped me build relationships with everybody else as well, the linebackers, even some of the D linemen. So I feel like I've been here for a year or two now. So I'm pretty comfortable now. We call it Speed 12 or something like that. So basically, if they got a good tight end, but like a G Scott, I'll say like a G Scott, like a tight end that really can be a receiver. So they got G Scott and then a bigger tight end in like maybe your Cade or whatever. So that's not really 12 because G can be a receiver. So that's probably what he means by that. But when you see, you know, two big tight ends that can play linemen, you know what I mean? You know they're gonna run the ball. Let's bring in sub package. Let's get a linebacker in there. Let's go bang for bang. You know what I mean? So, but you know if they got a tight end, I think Notre Dame has a good tight end. You know, I just played them in the Fiesta Bowl, so they have a good tight end. So when he's in, that might not be 12. You know, just that's for an example, but that's probably what he means.
So you can cover those type of tight ends.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they're big guys. I mean, they're bigger than all the safeties we have. I mean, that's for sure. But I mean, we can cover those guys. That's no problem. And if we bring in sub, the linebackers can cover them too. I mean, it's just whatever Coach Knowles wants to do at that point, whatever he sees on film.
Okay, folks, let's start wrapping it up, please.
Cam Martinez, so far, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Cam's playing, no problem. So Cam's playing a nickel right now as well, and you know Cam's versatile too. Like he can do different things. He's not the biggest guy. I mean, just like me, I'm not the biggest guy, but Cam can definitely do different things. He's good at covering. You know, he's an athletic guy. He has good ball skills. So I think eventually, you know, once you know Coach Knowles starts putting in more defense, I think he'll be able to do some different things and not just play. I think he's gonna be on the field. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's just gonna play nickel. He can play some other things. And we have like money package or bring in another DB. So I think you're gonna see him on the field, and he's really impressed me as well.
I assume. I mean, he's behind you in that nickel spot.
Right.
What things do you do differently?
Right.
How does that work?
Yeah. So the nickel position, obviously, it's a lot of covering. I mean, you're basically a corner on the field. I mean, you're a slot corner pretty much, but you also get the blitz. You know, you get to play middle as well. So you're really a versatile safety. Like I enjoy playing the nickel position because I get to do a lot of different things. You know what I mean? So Coach Knowles puts all of us in good positions to make plays. At different times. So I think from a nickel position, you're gonna see good. You gotta have good coverage skills. You gotta be able to cover man to man. You gotta be an instinctual player. You gotta know situations, and you gotta be a leader. I mean, you gotta talk over there in that field because it's basically you're the field safety almost. So you gotta be able to communicate to the corner, communicate to the jester, to the Mike linebacker. So I mean, you gotta be a leader. And I think Cam has those attributes as well, and he can do a lot of different things. So I'm excited to see what he does.
Tanner, who else is playing?
Describe like every role as being part of what the nickel does.
Oh yeah.
Do you think the nickel is the toughest position to play in Jim's defense?
I mean, I'm biased. I gotta say that, yeah, for sure. I mean, anybody that's played football will tell you covering a slot receiver with all that space is really hard. I mean, corner's a hard position as well, obviously, but they have the sideline to help them. But covering in the slot with all that space is a hard thing to do, and not a lot of people have the ability to do that. So if you have the ability to do that, I mean, that's really rare. I mean, you see it in the NFL, guys like Kenny Moore, for example. He's a really good slot corner, nickel guy. So it's a really hard task, and if you can do that, I mean, you're gonna be pretty valuable for a team, and obviously special teams, all that good stuff. But yeah, the nickel position, I would say, definitely is the toughest position to play on defense.
Does it make it even harder to have to look at Jackson every day in the slot?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's definitely tough. I mean, he's been banged up a little bit, but even Mecca's been playing the slot. So I've been competing with him, and Jackson, when he's practicing, I compete with him. But yeah, I think it's gonna make me better. To be honest, I don't think I'm gonna see anybody like Jackson. You know what I'm saying? For another team. So if I can cover him in practice, I mean, I'm fine. I'm going to the games comfortable. You know what I mean? So.
Tanner, who else is playing at nickel besides you and Ken?
So we had Legend. Obviously, he left. Shout out Legend. But we got Andrew Moore. Andrew Moore plays it as well. And so I think right now it's me, Cam, and Andrew Moore. Obviously, we could potentially bring a corner over, as we, start seeing what guys do, start getting real depth charts and stuff like that. But right now it's me, Cam Martinez, and Andrew Moore.
What's it been like going up against Jackson? I mean, you played in high school, but now it's like 4 years later. So like, how different is he than he was before?
Oh yeah, definitely way better. I mean, he a grown man now, so it's obviously a little different than playing him in high school. But I mean, he's like I said, he's a great player. I don't think I'm going to see any receiver like Jackson. So just going against him in practice, I really gotta lock in when I'm covering him, and we compete. I mean, we talk trash. I mean, that's my dog. So when he out there, I mean, I'm talking to him mid play, like nah, you ain't going there. Like nah, I'm on you. So me and him, when he's out there, we talk back and forth, and it's fun. I mean, that's my brother. So
what's like one or two things that he can do like now that he couldn't have done like 4 years ago? It's like a new tool or something.
Yeah, I say like his lateral quickness. I mean, he can go, he can jump out 2 yards, laterally quicker than anybody I've seen. Like he He's very shifty for his size. He's a 6 foot guy, big slot guy, but he's shifty just like a 5'6" slot guy. So that's probably one thing that stuck out. And he has sneaky speed. A lot of people don't think he's fast, but he's a fast guy. So
he's kind of built low though for a big guy.
Yeah, he is.
Is that what you're talking about?
Like he has a bigger lower frame. So when he does his cuts, when he's running his routes, it's smooth, and he can get to point A to point B really fast, and that a lot of guys can't do that at that size. So
are these guys? Is this group getting the Jim Knowles defense in your opinion? What's the tip off from your vantage point? For being knowledgeable.
I said earlier, Coach Knowles is throwing in a lot of the defense already, like just throwing in a lot of it, but guys are picking it up faster than I thought they would, which is really good. And I was saying, Coach Knowles brought over, different coaches that have coached along with him that knows the defense. So I think having those coaches in each room has helped, the transition for guys learning the new defense. They got guys in every area. I mean, you can talk to Coach Knowles, you can talk to me, you can talk to Coach Coy, Coach Brent Sadesky, you got Coach Guerreri. I mean, it's guys that know Coach Knowles' defense as well. And then the position coaches are doing a real good job. Coach Eliano, Coach Wall, they're doing a good job teaching us in the back end. So the transition has been really smooth, and I think the defense and everybody in the defense has picked it up really fast. So I'm excited, to see what we do during fall.